My name is Al Gunderson. I'm one of the founders of the United States War Dog Association. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here today and honoring these four-legged heroes from World War I and back all the way to the boys that are out there today that make it possible for us to be here. Just real quick, 5 of us got together that were Vietnam dog handlers, and our dogs were left overseas when we left. It really bothered us because we really never got to know their outcome. And we joined a group, and we wanted to have a chapter in New Jersey. And they didn't want a chapter in New Jersey. They were West Coast. And we said, you know what? We'll start our own. And we went to dog shows with coffee cans. We went talking at schools and stuff, you know, dropped something in a bucket. And about 10 years later, it was our dream. We put that monument up, and we're celebrating 10 years of the monument. If it wasn't for these dogs, most of us wouldn't be here today. And I mean physically here today.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, you talk about a ham.
That's a good girl.
A memorial to all those dogs that have, through the course of our history, worked with their human counterparts to ensure and protect our nation's freedoms. No better friend to the human companion, and no worse enemy to those who would do us harm. In our humble and imperfect way, we ask you to watch over and protect our four-legged friends. Keep them from all harm, and when their service is over, grant them a long and pleasant life with a family that will love and care for them. For all the dogs that you have called home, grant them green pastures to run in, sunshine to keep them warm, and your soft and gentle hand to pet them. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
This is a special place for folks my age and a little bit older. It means a lot to us. It took a lot to build the memorial itself, and then it was quite a few years later when we added this special part of it. And I remember when Ron came to me as the deputy commissioner and said, I want to do this. Well, gosh, so we're, back in those days, I was part of the state. We moved slowly in the state government. And so it took, how long did it take us just to get approval to put it in? So it was slow. I mean, it was slow to get approval for the concept. Then it was slow to get the bucks. I wasn't sure that I wasn't going to be retired as the deputy commissioner before we put it in, but I'm happy to report that we had just 10 years ago, I can't believe it, Ron, 10 years ago, that we added it. And I'm also proud to say that when I retired from the MOV in 2010, the gift that I got from Ron and his crew was a miniature of the memorial. It's really special. I think about the names on the wall of the memorial. And then I think about how many more names would have been on that wall without war dogs. There is a direct relationship. And I also think about today in this current war and the lives that are being saved, the lives that were saved in Iraq and Afghanistan, and now we're back into Iraq and Afghanistan. The number of lives that would be lost had it not been for the war dogs in this current war. And, you know, if you go way, way back in history, you'll find that war dogs have been an important part of the Army, especially for almost forever, it seems. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to take part in this 10th anniversary celebration. It is an important event at this very special place. Ron, to you and your team, thank you very much. To all of our veterans, thank you for your service to our country. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Colonel. Okay, the next guest, really don't need any introduction, but right now he's the Department of the Army Military Working Dog Program head. All right, he has, just real quick, I just want to read a couple of things. All right, he has the Bronze Star, the Meritorious Servile Medal, Army Commendation, Iraqi Campaign, Medal in Global War on Terrorism. He's a graduate of Air War College and holds a master's degree in defense management. Colonel Vargas, a native from Brooklyn, New York, and his wife, Lieutenant Colonel Norma Vargas, are from Hampton, New York, and currently reside in St. Petersburg, Florida. Colonel Vargas, would you please come up?
Thank you for having me. I want to speak on the partnership that we've developed between the American War Dog Association, the U.S. War Dog Association, and the military. I've been one of the benefactors of the support and service from a phone call that I got when I was at U.S. Central Command in 2006, and it was from Ron Aiello saying, "Hi, I'm with the U.S. War Dogs Association. Can I help?" And I says, "Boy, can you." What Ron did is circumvented that, and because of the great work from your organization, you have and continue to maintain the combat readiness for all military working dogs deployed both in CONUS and those dogs here back in the United States that are doing such a wonderful job. And as far as we are concerned, the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, you are still on active duty. We have continued to move forward in the Department of Defense with ensuring, because of your efforts, that all military working dogs and contract working dogs deployed overseas, none are left behind. They all come home for final disposition. And the importance of that and the acceptance of a military working dog as a foundational part of what we do is a story that I reflect upon when I speak to many people, is that when I was last in Bagram, when a fallen soldier would be prepared to return home, there would be an all-hands message put on an email, and soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines would fall out and pay honors and respect in the tarmac as that casket was being wheeled to the C-130 or C-17 that was returning that fallen soldier back to the States. I was present when a military working dog was afforded those same honors. Approximately 6 or 7 people fell out at the position of attention, presented arms as the small casket containing the remains of a military working dog were paraded across that tarmac to that waiting plane. I want to thank all the sentry and scout dog handlers and all the Vietnam veterans for your service. We were afforded the opportunity to ensure that our dogs were returned and that dispositions were made. Unfortunately, because of the policies at the time, the issues that were concerning people about the health of these dogs and what type of diseases they were bringing back, the majority were euthanized in theater, or, as we say, the handlers had to drop a leash and let the dog go as they were getting ready to get in the back of an aircraft returning them back to the United States, not knowing the fate of the dog, leaving it to the clemency of the locals. Well, thank you for your efforts to make sure that that will never happen again. And as we continue, and we will continue to utilize the military working dog, there is no capability that can detect explosives or narcotics out there that can do the same thing, that has the same capability as a military working dog. We need military working dogs, and the thousands and thousands of lives that they have saved throughout the courses of our previous wars, the current war, with a resurgence of forces going back to Iraq, it's immeasurable. And because of your dedication and your motivation and your support, we will ensure that we will continue to have combat-ready military working dogs to keep our young men and women alive. Thank you.
Thank you for coming here. We have 2 new best friends that I'd like to introduce. First of all, Senator Thompson. and my neighbor, Senator Robert Menendez. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to be here, and let me first start off by thanking all of those who have served our nation. In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. They didn't shrink from that responsibility, they welcomed it. And I can't think of a more fitting tribute than the opportunity I came early to visit again at the Vietnam Memorial, and I want to thank Michael McMahon, who is one of the volunteers and a Vietnam vet, who took me through the memorial and gave me insights that I never really had before. So Michael, thank you very much for doing that and for your service and for the service of all of you who have served our country. I am reminded in people like that, I just want to take a moment of Tashina James, 21 years old, of Jersey City, whose funeral is taking place as we speak. She died at Fort Hood with a group of other soldiers in a flooding in her tactical vehicle. So the risks are not only abroad but here at home as well when men and women wear the uniform of the United States. I'm pleased to join with the U.S. War Dogs Association, with your president, Ron Aiello, with your sergeant at arms, Al Gunderson, and everyone connected with the War Dogs Association at this 10-year rededication of the first official state War Dog Memorial, and to honor the memory of the association's treasurer, Bucky Grimm, and all of the war dogs who have been part of American military history. How many of you have had one great dog in your life? The one dog you'll never forget. There's many of us in that regard. The one who grew up with you as a child or who saw you through high school, maybe even through college. How many of you remember how much a part of the family that dog is or was? The great dogs in our lives are more than companions, more than pets. They're part of our families. They're in our family photographs and in our hearts. Dogs are pack animals, and they look to us to be part of the pack, and when we accept them and they accept us, the bond lasts forever. They protect us, and they are every bit as dedicated to us as we are to them. They are part of the team, just as Cairo, the Belgian Malinois that flew with SEAL Team 6 on the Osama bin Laden raid, was as much a part of the team as the Navy SEALs themselves. Cairo wasn't there for the fun of it. He was there on duty, doing what he was trained to do. He was part of a well-trained special operations unit, trained to carry out his commands in the task to capture or kill bin Laden. Cairo was among the first to hit the ground as SEAL Team 6 landed in Abbottabad, Pakistan, and stormed bin Laden's compound. Outfitted with a Kevlar vest, night vision goggles, a harness for rappelling and parachuting, and a drainage system for waterborne assaults, Cairo helped secure the perimeter after one of the two chopters crashed within the walls and 6 SEALs bravely made their way inside the building. Cairo, part of the team, played a pivotal role in the capture of one of our nation's most wanted terrorists. One dog of an army of military war dogs who have been on the front lines of American conflicts since World War I. A dog named Sergeant Stubby served in the Army's 102nd Infantry 26th Yankee Division. The short, brindle bull terrier mutt is credited with capturing a German spy, comforting wounded soldiers on the battlefield, and saving the lives of countless doughboys by sniffing out poison gas and barking warnings to the men in the trenches. His exploits are the making of legends and are immortalized in the Smithsonian National Museum of American History in the nation's capital. During World War II, the Army began actively training dogs and their would-be handlers for combat and expanding their roles. By Vietnam, military war dogs were an integral part of the Army, Air Force, Marine, and Navy fighting forces. And today we have dogs like Cairo, just as much a member of SEAL Team 6 and just as deserving of our praise and recognition as the men who went out on that mission on May 2nd, 2011. To this day, Cairo, Stubby, and all the other military working dogs that have served so valiantly to do their jobs, protect their team, their platoon, have yet to be formally recognized by the United States military, despite having served multiple tours or being injured or killed in action, and not unlike other wounded warriors, some return home missing limbs. If we as a nation can strap a Kevlar vest on Cairo and send him on a secret special operations mission to take out bin Laden, then it seems to me that we should be able to pin a medal to his collar because he just isn't any dog. He's a SEAL, and he deserves our respect and recognition. Now, I want to be clear. I certainly am not singling out war dogs over our sons and daughters who serve in uniform and stand in harm's way. I've made it my mission in my 24 years in the Congress between the House and the Senate, and certainly in the last 10 in the Senate, to get the men and women who have served our country with distinction and often who are forgotten, who have not gotten their medals, including most recently a World War II veteran who took forever to get their medals. But I was honored to deliver it to him while he was still alive. And so we will continue to do that. But at the same time, I'm simply saying that the dogs that are trained and served in the military are part of their team. And if the team is honored, they should also be honored. So I am introducing legislation to create the first ever official Department of Defense commendation honoring the distinguished service and sacrifice of working dogs and their handlers in each branch of the military. It's called the Guardians of America's Freedom Medal, inscribed in the Military Working Dog Team's National Monument at Joint Base San Antonio, Lakeland, the training site for the Military Working Dog Program, and it is the least that we can do for the best dogs that we have. It is in the fog of war, when lives are on the line, when the true measure and character of those we entrust to protect and defend us is revealed. First and foremost, they are our sons and daughters, but they are not alone. They are often accompanied into battle by military working dogs who have unique abilities and tremendous loyalty to their handlers and their teams. In their own way, these dogs are also American heroes, American warriors, and part of American military history, and they should be recognized as such. We should commend them on the record and give them the respect and recognition they have earned and deserve. The 10-year rededication of this memorial is the right place and the right time to honor these military working dogs, sensitive, high-value military assets that are assigned an identification number and a job classification that makes them part of our military service. They deserve more than a pat on the head and a treat. They are soldiers and veterans and should be honored with the teams that they serve. So that's how I intend to join with you in remembering our military working dogs. Thank you very much. I want to first of all thank Marine retired Mike Ortega, who is a special assistant in my staff, who brought the concept to me. Mike, thank you very much for your service to our country and for your service every day in the office. And on behalf of this special occasion, I have had 2 flags flown over the Capitol of the United States, and one is for you, Ron, on behalf of all the membership, and the other is for the membership itself. May it fly in freedom and in remembrance of what you've done here today. Please come on up and...
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, and I want to commend you for your efforts. And like I had said before, most of us would not be here if it wasn't for our dogs. And I don't mean just physically here talking about them. I mean here. We would have been coming home with the 6. All right, before I introduce Ron, can I just have you do one thing? Could you just stand for 1 second? Over on your right here. Come over a little bit more. These 3 soldiers and the 4-legged heroes just returned home from doing a tour.
General Petraeus had stated the capacity of the military working dogs bring to the fight cannot be replicated by man or woman. By all measures of performance, their yield outperforms any asset we have in our inventory. Today, there are approximately 2,800 to 3,000 dogs deployed around the world in combat, as well as protecting people and strategic assets and bases at home and abroad. In these times of modern In these times of terrorism and other threats, working dogs aid not only the military but a host of local and national law enforcement agencies. Narcotic teams detect illicit drugs on the highways and in businesses, airports, and residents, assisting drug units, U.S. Customs, DEA, ICE, FBI, and other agencies. They also assist corrections with searches of facilities. Patrol teams search for wanted and lost individuals. They also vital in the apprehension of burglary and robbery suspects and other individuals fled from law enforcement. The dedication of these canines and their handlers save lives and prevent terrorists and illegal events daily around the world and our communities at home. The dedication of this memorial today in honor of those noble canines and their handlers is a tribute to the way of our life and those of 2 legs and 4 paws who work tirelessly to keep us safe. Thank you.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
This is Robert Cicero. This is one of my brothers, one of the founders. This is Bucky Grimm. I never knew his name was Francis. I always thought his name was Bucky. What a hell of a name to name a guy. They will be doing some acknowledgments. Thank you.
Good afternoon. What a great turnout. What a great day, huh? Well, 10 years since we dedicated this back in 2006, and it really doesn't seem that long ago, but I guess it has been. And the reality of the situation involves, people who, from the littlest tyke throwing a quarter into our collection pot to corporations lending their support and continuing their support throughout the years. To begin with Kelly Watts, who was the executive director at the time for the New Jersey Vietnam Memorial Foundation, as well as Colonel Abel, who really got the ball rolling for us, and we thank you again, Colonel. We then commissioned Bruce Lindsay to complete this beautiful masterpiece just behind me, which he did obviously in one great fashion. We have to also acknowledge AKC for allowing us to set up booths at their various dog shows to sell our wares, to raise the funds that were needed. We'd like to also bring special thanks to all the individuals who bought a t-shirt, a harness, a collar, what have you, which all helped into the kitty to raise the necessary funds. Right down to an elementary school in Staten Island that had a fundraiser for us in 2 grades, which, if my memory serves me right, they raised about $600, which I thought was terrific. I'd like to also thank the various corporations such as Pet Value, who continues to support us in a rather large fashion. They also help to support the handlers that are now deployed and the dog teams that are deployed currently. I'd like to thank Bill Litterman, who is now sitting executive director of the New Jersey Vietnam Memorial Foundation, Chris Maurer and Louisa Kastner of Mission Canine Rescue, Chapter 6 of the U.S. War Dogs Association out of Houston, Texas. And of course, we'd like to thank our distinguished congressmen and senators who have come and spoke their piece concerning the our heroes, which are the war dogs. And a special shout out to Mike Ortega. That about covers it for me.
Stand, or what do you want to do this?
I'll ask them to stand. At this time, before I read off these names, I will ask everybody to please stand in honor of these men who were killed in action, who were from the state of New Jersey. First name, Charles Paul Brown, United States Army, deceased March 9th, 1967, 40th Scout, South Amboy, New Jersey. Benjamin H. Mason, Jr., United States Marine Corps, September 4th, 1967, Sentry Dog, Piscataway, New Jersey. Claude Joseph Gaspard, Jr., Army, April 20th, 1968, 33rd Scout, Short Hills, New Jersey. James Allen Johnson, Army, August 1st, 1968, 39th Scout, Kelly was his dog's name, Jersey City, New Jersey. Alden John Bullwinkle, Army, September 11, 1969, 61st Scout, Dunellen, New Jersey. Richard Howard Ford, Army, January 18, 1970, 35th Scout, Surf City, New Jersey. Robert William Elliott, United States Marine Corps, August 9th, 1970. Mine Dog, Woodbury, New Jersey. David Allen Ludenberg, Army, November 12th, 1970, 63rd Scout. His dog's name was Heidi. Caldwell, New Jersey. Christopher Sino Zarnada, Army, March 22nd, 1971. Perth Amboy, New Jersey. Thank you. You may please be seated.
We've added one more item to the agenda. All Vietnam veterans, would you please raise your hands? Would you come forward? We will be presenting you with the Vietnam War lapel pin for the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. So if you'd like to step forward.
Pardon me.
Yeah.